Starting with front-facing camera, I am recording 4K 60 FPS on both, and I must say that I think the Vivo is just a little bit too sharp. OPPO seems a little bit more natural. But let's have a look at the portrait mode now. And this is the portrait video mode, and I think I prefer the quality on the Vivo. However, the colors are more natural on OPPO. But let's have a look at some selfies now. Now it's time to check on video quality and stabilization. I love the colors because we've got autumn here, so beautiful leaves, cloudy sky. What do you think? Which one is doing better here? Let me switch to the main camera. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ×2 with a digital zoom, but then the best way is to go straight to optical zoom, 3.5 on Vivo and ×3 on OPPO. Now that looks pretty good. Let me check on stabilization here. But let's take some pictures now. Now I have switched to Pro video mode, and it's great because this is available on both of these devices. I have switched to one of the LUTs, so you can, change different settings. I actually brought down the EV compensation because of the light coming down here to -1 on both. So there is a lot of options that you can do with the Pro mode. But let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is actually the chair I'm sitting on, and I've been using this for over 2 months. So let's dive in. I'm just about to do another editing project, and this standing desk has been great. However, there's one problem. Unfortunately, after standing for too long, I get really bad back pain. So that's why this Hinomi H2 Pro ergonomic chair has been a game changer. The amount of adjustment we are getting here is just insane. You can really find yourself very comfortable position. It feels like this chair just understands my body. If you care about your posture, go and check links in the description below. I have added some links for you to get it cheaper. I'm going to carry on with my editing. And then when I'm done with my editing, I can just simply fold it underneath my desk. How cool is that? Now I have switched to portrait video mode, and this is ×2. You can also use main camera or dedicated optical zoom. But even though I'm using ×2, the quality looks absolutely amazing. And what I love on Vivo, that I can record 4K 60 FPS, which I'm using now, we are limited to 4K 30 on OPPO. But let's compare portrait shots now. And this is maximum zoom, ×20 on Vivo and ×18 on OPPO. I don't know, maybe Vivo's a little bit better, but let me switch back to ultra wide and carry on with my review. I have to show you this. When you use the action modes on both, okay, this is for fast movements like car going past, which I'm going to use now. I love the fact that OPPO can go ultra wide angle ×1, 2, 3. The ultra wide angle isn't available on Vivo. However, you can go way further because actually can get further with OPPO. That's interesting. So yeah, way more options here with OPPO. Really nice. Using maximum optical zoom 3.5 on Vivo and ×3 on OPPO, you can see that natural blurry background effect. But let's have a look at some macro shots now. Now, in terms of the color accuracy, again, OPPO is doing better here on the right hand side. Can you see the difference? Vivo is just too orange in my opinion. Okay, it's time to switch to portrait video mode. I'm still recording in 4K resolution. It is very windy and wet, but I'm still going to carry on. So if you appreciate that, whoa, even my tripod's falling, you can see. If you appreciate that, smash that like and consider subscribing. But let's have a look at some portrait photography. Let's go. This time I'm going to check the quality in just a little bit darker conditions. This is the ultra wide angle. I am recording 4K 30. Switching to the main camera. It is very windy, so it will be good to see which one handles wind a little bit better. So this is stabilization. Switching to ×2. Just a digital crop, and then we got 3.5 optical zoom on Vivo and ×3 on OPPO. That looks good. Let's switch back to ultra wide angle and take some pictures now. If you love taking pictures and videos at night, let me show you the options you have. So OPPO has long exposure photography, and then you've got these three options, and you can change the exposure up to 12 seconds. However, Vivo will give you just a little bit more. On the top of that, when you go to stage modes, basically amazing for concerts and when you're in a very low light conditions, you can record videos in any resolution. Yeah, however, the maximum zoom is ×30, which is wild. On the other side, maximum zoom with video on OPPO is only ×18. But let's compare the quality now. I mean, you can clearly see the difference, how much better the Vivo is. Wow, I'm recording in 4K 30 FPS. No way. Even the color accuracy, the clock is more yellow rather than white. But let me switch back to ultra wide angle and take more pictures now. Unfortunately, the weather is not getting any better. I am using front-facing camera. What do you think about the quality? Let me know which device is your favorite so far. And I'm gonna have a look at some selfies now. Final conclusion. Whichever device you're going to pick, you will definitely not be disappointed. We've got very powerful flagship phones, exactly the same chipset. There are loads of similarities, I must say. However, there are also some differences. And I think in terms of features, they are very, very similar. However, you have to remember that the OPPO has 7,500 size of the battery, which is humongous. Like, the battery will last you 2 days. On the other side, Vivo has brighter display and it's also cheaper. Now, when you look at the camera, I must say that I made some notes, otherwise I'll forget. I prefer the night portraits on Vivo. However, day photography, I think OPPO was doing better. Zoom was also better on Vivo. However, night shots were better on OPPO, because only when I was editing I noticed the flares coming from the lights, which was not that great. Hopefully this will be something that Vivo can fix with the latest software update, because I remember Vivo X200 Pro was suffering with that as well. Please let me know your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I will be making more videos and camera comparisons, so make sure you stick around. In fact, I started editing the OPPO versus OnePlus 15, so make sure you ding the notification bell not to miss that video, and I'll catch you next one. Cheers.